Hi, lovely people. Here we are once again for the tarot reading for August 2022. So choose your row first of all. Which row do you want? Which are you drawn to today? Row 1, row 2, or row 3? And let's get straight into it. Click on the chapters which are in the video, and then you can jump straight to the row that is absolutely right for you. So here we go. Right, here we are, row 1. So if you've chosen row 1, this is a very interesting display. So first of all, let's go through the tarot at the top. We have the Devil card, which is a major arcana card. And the Devil card really represents the material kingdom there. And also represents the ego as well. So it may be that you're entering a phase where money, the material side, your well-being, anything that's really representing the material side becomes more important to you there. And maybe that you've rejected these things before or whatever, but it's gaining in importance for some reason in August. It's also about, it can also be about antiques as well, actually. The Devil card can also be about lust, that sexual side as well. So it's not always, obviously it's not a spiritual card in so much as it represents the material world, but it can be concerned with matters of material security, perhaps some lust and passion in there as well. But it can also be about abuse of power, too much neediness, too much greediness, anything too much ego there as well. So it really depends how it fits in with your life, the Devil card there. So maybe there's some concerns, and maybe you're feeling quite literally, if you look at the chains on the pictures here, maybe quite literally you're feeling chained by insecurities and those kind of things there. So it can be negative blocks and self-doubt as well. That's as we start the month, and as we're moving into the month, I have 3 cards that symbolize the month, and then we have an overall card with it, and then a roomy card I'm pulling once again, and then we get on to the 8. And 8s typically are about obstacles and barriers and negative blocks and that kind of thing. But it's also the 8 of Pentacles again is very much concerned with the material side of things. So are we learning a new skill here with the 8 of Pentacles? Is there something, eights are about balance of power. Is there something there that's relating to work again, that you're feeling? Maybe with the Devil card, you're feeling tied to work, or there's a need to learn a new skill around you. So is that practical? It's very much a practical card as well, a very pragmatic card. It's a pentacle sign, it's an earth sign. So it could be training, it could be apprenticeship of some kind, or further education there. And again, when it's reversed, it could be to do with problems with work in some way. And the fact it's following the Devil card here, the major arcana card, says to me there may be some concerns about your work and your security and your financial stability. So there are feelings of limitation around this there. Limitation. You may be struggling with work, struggling to find work, or concerns about even the material side of, with all the increased prices in the world. So there may be something there that's something that's coming up, maybe something undeclared there, maybe undeclared income or something like that that's coming up, that's catching up with you there. So there certainly feels like there's concerns around you. And then we have the 9 of Swords, which is following that. And 9s typically are about progression, milestones, advancement. They're also about completion, purification. And the 9 of Swords is very much an air sign. So the Swords is about, it's cutting through things. It's about thought, it's about the mental side, the trust side, the logic side. So when we've got the 9 of Swords here, again, that can be, sorry, this sounds very negative, but it can be about oppression, it can be about fear and anxiety that's coming up as well. Sometimes it's about that, well, there's light at the end of the tunnel here. You've been going through this, but by the end of the month, there's light at the end of the tunnel. But I would have said in this particular side of things, I think you're letting self-doubt get the better of you, row one. Certainly in the tarot here, it feels as if you've gone through a lot of fear here. Fear to do with work, fear to do with your skills, fear to do with security in some way, and it's getting to you here. And it's almost like growing, it's like this lady here, it's like something's getting out of control. It's like you're taking a molehill and developing it into a mountain here. So it's kind of advising, again, these are not predictions, these are potential. Tarot is always about potential, and it's saying that whatever's going on back here, don't let it get out of control. Don't let that self-doubt escalate. You know, there is my mantra, many people that know me, is my mantra is there is always a way. And there really is a way. So don't let it get to you, whatever's going on. There may also be this sense of relief as well. Like I said, this light at the end of the tunnel. We've gone through all this, and there is this sense of relief, this light at the end of the tunnel by the time we get to the end of the month. And let's look at the overall card of the King of Swords. And the King of Swords is he's logical, he's clever. It's an advice card. He stands for good, clear advice. He can be a professional. He could be an accountant, a surgeon, a doctor, but someone that is professional and someone about advice. It's telling you to get some advice, whatever is going on here, and it feels to do with money, it feels to do with earthly matters. Take some advice, get some advice. Things are never as bad as they seem that they are. Although, you know, it can be, although he's a professional and it can seem like, you know, things are, what am I going to do? How am I going to get myself out of this? There is always a way. And he is a professional, and it is saying, just get some advice there. And if we move on to these cards here, the Lenormand cards, that's the Gilded Reverie, Lenormand, they're brilliant and they're very accurate. Here we have the Romantic Man here. He's waiting here. So if you've got matters of love going on here, and maybe this is to do with matters of love and you're waiting for somebody and it doesn't seem to be getting there, you know, hang on in there, take some advice, maybe look at things in a different way with this one. Number 28, as I say, is the Romantic Man. He's the man that's holding the red rose sitting on a chair. So he's talking about waiting. He's talking about patience. He's representing patience here. Patience is needed here. Whether it's matters of the heart or matters to do with work up here, patience here. There's this sense of quiet endurance and a sensitivity that's going on right now. But there's something gnawing away. So I know there's some concern which is echoed up here. There's something gnawing away at you. And the mouse that's in this picture is nearly through that little bit of material. So, you know, there is this sense I've lost something here, or I'm grieving about something. I'm a worry. I'm a worry here. But he doesn't need to worry. He's nearly there. It's nearly there. The progression, the milestone. Patience, endurance. I'm nearly there. I'm nearly there. Perhaps light at the end of the tunnel there, if this applies to you. So, you know, and it's not a, you know, this is not the end of the world, whatever's going on, whatever concerns or worries you have. There's no nothing that speaks very, very bad here at all. It's more about the ego building up self-doubt. Here it's more about worries more than anything else, and it's asking you not to worry. Take some professional advice, have some patience. There's light at the end of the tunnel. Things will change, things will transform, no matter how, you know, how much doom and gloom it sometimes feels, things are changing. Things always change. That's the beauty of life. Things always changing. So nothing ever stays the same. And if we keep the faith, keep trusting, keep having the faith, things will always transform and shift in the right direction. So 33, this is beautiful, the key that opens up the cage to the rose that's inside. So this is all about solutions. So because this has come up, this is all about solutions, I'm going to say this card really does refer to light at the end of the tunnel. There's a solution coming in. There's a solution coming in to this worry, this problem here, which I think is connected to security more than anything else. This is a card of liberation and freedom. So although, you know, the rose could have been in the cage, which felt like a prison, the golden key has come in to open up the cage to allow the rose to come out. So there is light at the end of the tunnel by the end of the month. Things are changing. There is light in the horizon. So there are feelings being unlocked. There are prisons being unlocked. It can unlock knowledge as well. So there are new opportunities, new beginnings, new potential coming up for you in August. I would say by the end of August here. And let's just have a look at the overall card, which is 27, row 1. And it's a document, it's a letter, it's a message, it's information. So it's slow mail more than anything else, I think, with letters. So it means that there is a communication. There's something coming in. But it just means that you have to be patient again, which is what this card is telling you. Be patient. It's changing. It's coming in. This is coming in, but you have to be patient. You have to have a little bit of endurance there. You have to have faith there. But there is truth coming in, which connects nicely with this advice and guidance. So I think you will be getting the support that you're looking for here. And let's have a look at what the Rumi card says for you. And the Rumi card overall is Let Love Transform. It's card 14, Let Love Transform. I'm just going to put it there, and I'm going to get the book out for that and see what the message is for card 14. So this oracle comes to you as a living spiritual gift. Whether you realize it or not, you have triumphed. So all of that difficulty and all the stuff you've been through recently, this card is telling you there's light at the end of the tunnel. You've come through, you've triumphed. You have blossomed, succeeded, cast aside that which was unworthy, and taken up love's way. How much delight there is from all those that walk this way of love, of life, to find another precious companion in their midst. You are welcomed into this world where love finds a way. So what it means is that there is an avenue for divine fulfillment, which has been found. You are being given the power for spiritual success, and your heart's yearning shall manifest itself. But you must comply according to the law of love. So it means not attaching yourself to the form that your resolution and success shall take. So let go, have faith, and have trust, and detach yourself from any expectations of timing as well. Just know and trust it's all changing, it's all transforming, it's all going to be okay. All right, so that's you, row 1, and let's go on to row 2. Right, row 2, this is very different outlook to row 1. So we've got the Hierophant coming in as the Major Arcana card coming up on row 2. And the Hierophant, a bit like the High Priestess, is a gateway to, hidden knowledge, hidden secrets and things. But the Hierophant, or the Pope, is much more of a conventional gateway. So it may be that you're going to, if you're reading this, you may be thinking about going to university, or attracted to a particular type of religion, and more of an orthodox one. Or you need something along those lines that's going to offer you that kind of support and certainty. So it can be a very ritualistic card. It's a number 5, and 5 is always about change for me as well. It can be about routine, but that's much more to do with the Emperor typically. But it can be someone also that's overly concerned about what people think as well. It can also be about marriage. So if you're thinking about marriage or anything that's kind of ritualistic there, it can also represent hospitals to me as well, police, hospitals, institutions, that kind of thing as well, hence the university. But as I say, it can be a joining together, a ritualistic sort of joining together, the Hierophant there. So it may be that someone that's appearing in your life right now is appearing as the Hierophant in some way, which could be a teacher that's very gifted, a spiritual mentor, maybe a priest even, or something like that, or something along those lines for you. There may be this, as I said, this deep need for routine there as well. When it appears reversed, it can be about anarchy, breaking the rules. Yay, I like that. Being unconventional, turning your back on institutions, that kind of thing as well. But it doesn't feel like it's in a negative aspect. But see how that feels to you. For me, it's always a ritualistic card, the Hierophant. It's also about that sort of inner guidance, inner wisdom as well, much like the High Priestess. But it's followed by the Queen of Swords. And the Queen of Swords, she's charming, she's cool, she's intelligent, she's very vivacious. Again, it's the sword, so it's cutting through things. She can be very cutting as well, but it's about thought, it's about the mental side, it's an air sign, it's about trust, it's about logic. She's lively, she's social, so this could be you if you're watching this. She enjoys all sorts of conversation. She's gregarious, she's vivacious, she's the life and soul, really, I think, in many ways. She likes to talk about problems. She's also about sexual equality. She likes music. She's one of those people that if she appears as a person in your life, she's the sort of person that's most likely to have an affair as well. So she's got that because she's got that sort of social, gregarious, happy. People are drawn to her and drawn to that energy as well. She can be very bitter and lonely and a bit of a gossip as well. But it is interesting that she's got all of those other wonderful sort of attributes about her, following on from that ritualistic sort of routine card there. Potentially, she can also be very unhappy about her emotional life as well. So the fact that it's coming before this card, the 5, says to me that there's something has happened. It may be, I don't know if anybody's going through any separations right now, but for me, these 3 cards together potentially denote that there is a lot of unhappiness around something. Maybe a marriage is breaking up and there is a separation here because we've got the 5 of Cups that's following here. We've got these 2 5s there. So it feels like there is something around. I mean, there's a battle of wits going on. So there's something there, maybe connected with the marriage there, that is bringing us a sense of strife or grief in some way as well. So that could also apply to anything to do with mental pursuits, speaking. It may be the formal speaking engagement here for an institution, and she would be your speaker, but there's anxiety about it or worries about it, or too much focus on what's lost there as well. So that could be public speaking. It could also be about writing as well, the Queen of Swords. So generally when she comes up, she's considered a positive influence, but I think there may be some anxieties because of the Five of Cups here that are following it. So let's just have a look at that Five of Cups, because the Five of Cups is very much about change in matters of emotion, the heart. The Five of Cups can be about disruption and about conflict in matters of the heart, in terms of romance, in terms of intuition. Yeah, certainly I just dropped. Sorry, a whole load of files just fell off my desk. I've just sorry. The matters of emotion, matters of the heart. Too much focus is on what is lost with the Five of Cups when she comes up there. So I think there's something there that needs to change in terms of, you need to be thinking about, what have I got? And again, it's switching that focus from the reaction to the response. Recognizing what you have to be grateful for will help to transform that situation. Then it's about having hope. There's cautious hope with the Five there. So although there's change, disruption, potential conflict in matters of the heart, there's also hope going on. Just shift your focus a little. And then we have the overall card of the Eight of Wands. And the Eight of Wands are about typically about obstacles, barriers, negative blocks, but also it's a very busy card. There's a lot of things happening as well. When it's Wands, we're talking about matters of the spirit, impulse, excitement, essence. There's a lot going on with the Eight of Wands. And I'm always drawn to the castle in the picture around here with it as well. But the Eight of Wands is very much traditionally about horizons that are being expanded here. So again, if we switch our focus from what is lost and instead of worrying about whatever's going on around here, then actually we're looking at the potential that whatever's happened here in your life, whatever's making sense to you here, is opening up new horizons for you. So there are new skills, new horizons coming in rather than skills, but there are all sorts of communications being augured here. So it denotes, because it's Wands, we've got fresh ideas, fresh creativity coming in, sudden changes, lots happening. And it's almost as if once I shift my focus from that to that, from reaction to response, then I have all this potential coming in for transformation here, road 2. So let's have a look at what's running on the row with the Gilded Reverie Lenormand pack, which is these. And with 34, we have plenty potential there. So we've got it's a real abundance card, 34, with the fish. Fish always seem to represent abundance. And it's a very watery card as well. So, it's matters of emotions as well, again, but it's also about commerce as well. So it can be about sales. So again, it can be about work matters here as well. So, the fish dive to great depths. Here it's showing great depths to gather that food in abundance. So it's a card that symbolizes wealth. So it may be that you're working for an institution or something, and maybe there's a speaking engagement, or there's something going on in a very professional capacity. And obviously there's some anxieties there, but it's opening up great potential for wealth and abundance here. So is that this card tends to represent speculate to accumulate there. So go for it, basically. If you're umming and ahhing, should I, shouldn't I, go for it. Then we have the well of deep wishes. So it's about resources, deep wishes, healing, again, creativity. Wishes will be granted if you put the energy into them. It's not about working hard. It's about putting the energy and the intention into them and having faith that they're going to manifest what you want. So the Well card is about looking deeper into something. Again, we're looking deeper into either your work or a particular situation that's concerning you. In order to get that abundance out, we have to go in deeper there. So if you've been facing difficulties as well, now's the time for healing for that. Look into the healing practices. What is it that you need that's going to offer you that sense of expanded horizons coming up? It's also indicating that the goal is attainable, that you want, but you have to put in that effort for it, and maybe put in some more resources to make it happen as well. But the fact that it's next to the fish as well is a warning that not to overextend yourself in terms of investment or business. So that speaks for itself, doesn't it? Don't overextend yourself there. Then it's followed by the card 1440. There's two faces in this. Sometimes for me that means acting. There can be an acting side of things. What you're showing to the world is not really what's underneath. It's also a very deceitful card as well. So it can be about deceit. It can be about contradictions. It can be about opposites. It can be someone that projects certain emotions and hides the true feelings as well. So it can be someone that's very adaptable as well, fits into all situations. But it's very much about playing roles, the mask. Very much about playing roles. And it's almost indicating a need to play a different role. So is there any concealment going on? Is there any deception going on? What it's saying is that how things appear, which may be, again, it's tying in beautifully with this card, how things appear is not how they are. It's really not how they are. So although you may be focused, again, back to this Five of Cups, you're focused on this aspect here, the cup's fallen over, it's not how they are. But we've got these two magnificent gold cups standing up behind you. Okay, so how things appear is not really how they are. And I think that's the overall message with that one. But also there may be someone in your life at the moment with a particular situation that they are not how they are. And that could be, some people, I've been called aloof in my lifetime before. And it's not that I've been deliberately aloof, but I've been shy. That's as an example. So I've often been misjudged with the way that I've come across in my life. And it's the same sort of thing, that just because someone appears a certain way, it may be that they're just covering up for inadequacy or shyness or lack of confidence at a certain level. So all is not what it seems. There's a bit of illusion around about something, but not necessarily, in a bad way there. So just keep an open mind with that one. And then we have the most magnificent card of the stars, which for 16. It's all written in the stars. So guidance and healing is what this card represents. It's reassurance, it's inspiration. Again, like this one, this expanded horizons, this inspiration here as well. So whatever's happening, it's already been decided. It's a fixed course. This is about something that's preordained here. So no matter what's going on, this is why it's so important. Rather than getting stuck and holding up the energy and being resistant, these cards are offering advice to actually, do you know what? Just let it go. Just let it go. It is what it is. Focus on things that you have to be grateful for. And that will shift you out of that energy, whatever it is, and bring in what it is that you want. So it's a very optimistic, very ambitious card, and it portends much success success and promise, really. So really, really positive. And let's have a look at the Rumi card. And that is card 13. Lucky for some, lucky for all, really. Arise. Beautiful, beautiful card. And these are the Rumi cards. It's Alana Fairchild. Fantastic Rumi cards. I just love I keep coming back to these Rumi cards because they're so accurate. They really are. There's just something about their energy. So just a brief description of what this card Arise dictates. It says you've been feeling downtrodden for long enough now. There we are, back to those Three of Cups again. Perhaps you've been feeling defeated, put upon, underestimated, or walked over in mind, body, or spirit by others, or your own doubts and fears. Enough now. You are liberated through the hope in your heart, the defiant optimism that buoys your spirit and demands that you shall have your dawn. You shall rise like the sun and begin anew now. So step up. It is your time. Yay, we like that one. So this is about drawing a line under the past now, focusing on what you have so that you can bring in more abundance. There you go, row 2. I'm going to go to row 3 now. Hello, row 3. Right, these are all so different this month in August. Let's just move these down for you. So these are the overall cards here. So let's have a look at the tarot first of all. And the tarot is talking about the Five of Swords. And so fives, as you know, about change, disruption, conflict, in matters of the mental, the trust, the logic, the thought, because it's a sword. And the Five of Swords, to me, it's always about an empty victory. The swords, you know, he's holding all the swords there, and the other two are sort of walking away. But there's an emptiness with it. There's a for me, it's an empty victory. It's kind of although the theme is about battle, enemies, change, that kind of thing. But it's, you know, with fives, no one's getting hurt there, but it's like I've won my battle, but at what cost? There. So there's this indication in a way of failure at some level, or loss of some kind, or a battle of the wills in many ways. It can denote underhand tactics at times. This is what I mean about the empty victory. You know, it can also indicate, you know, a betrayal of some kind as well. But it almost feels like, well, I've won. I've been point scoring, I've won something, but at what cost have I won it? So I feel a sense of limitation with this card, with the Five of Swords, because that's what it's about. Five of Swords is about limitation and power games in some way. And it could be in connection with a relationship of some kind. It's like, well, I got what I want, but at what cost? Or this sense of stubbornness. As well. Powerful feelings maybe also of jealousy or envy or of some kind, or even self-pity there. But the battle's over, it's done. There's no going back. What is done is done. And that's the thing to hold on to this. With the Five of Swords, what is done is done. Let it go. Whatever happened, learn from it. No matter what your behavior was or somebody else's is or was, learn from it. It's done now and it's time to move on. And that's what the card is saying. And then we have this amazing wheel, Wheel of Fortunes, I call it, which is about new opportunities, evolution. It came out reversed when I dealt it out, and I don't generally deal with reverse cards. I look at the cards either side of it. But because this is going on, it could be classed as reversed. But I don't like the thing about tarot for me. It's about potential. Nothing is set in stone, if you like. It's potential. So if you say, oh, you're going to have bad luck, or this is going to happen, you're potentially setting the seeds for self-doubt in people's minds, and I don't believe in that. I believe that sometimes forearmed is forewarned, if you like, and you can say, well, these are the influences, this is the potential, what are you going to do with it? Because these are like reminders. So whatever's happened, move on. You know, there's a healing capacity with these cards. So the thing about the Wheel of Fortune is that it's about issues of destiny versus free will, and I'm not a huge believer in free will. I think everything's already decided, whatever happens, and I learnt that over many years now, and I really feel that's the case. And my feeling is that the only free will we have is whether we resist our path or respond to it. So, in other words, whether we react to situations that occur or we respond to them, that is our free will. And out of that response comes great potential for growth, great potential for having very positive and enjoyable experiences, great potential for our creativity and our intelligence. And I think if we're holding on with this Five of Swords here, we're holding on to something that's in the past, like we've been betrayed or we've won a point in some way in our whatever capacity to do with our mental side anyway. We feel like, yeah, we got one up, or maybe we have experienced jealousy or self-pity or something like that. It's time to let it go. It belongs in the past. It belongs in the past because the wheel is turning. And it's saying, it's all, it's also like the wheels of karma are turning. So it's time to move on. This is what I'm getting from this card. It's time to move on. So we don't have to be stuck here. And I feel that that's what the wheel is teaching us there, that we are approaching one of those moments in life where we have to say, I can stay here or I can evolve and move forward. Move forward with my life, move forward in a new direction instead of resisting it, instead of staying where I am, instead of being stubborn, instead of holding on to betrayal. It's time to bring in the new. And I feel that that's what this Wheel of Fortune is saying in this particular place. The wheel is in motion, it's moving, the wheel of karma, the wheel of life. It's time to move on and leave the old behind. And then we come to the page, the wonderful Page of Cups. And pages are very young. They're new paths, new directions. They're very young. They're about this. The Page of Cups is about increased intuition. Or it can also be about a child as well, or even a young female with the page. But it's about the dawning of new creativity and intuitive projects or impulses in some way. So it may be that you're having more dreams, or you're discovering new things, you have an increased awareness in some way. So by letting go of this resistance here, because that's all it is, we are allowing the wheel to turn and your intuition to become stronger. There's a greater awareness happening for you in August. And just pay attention to everything that's going on for you, everything that's going on. But stay real, stay grounded, stay in your body. Don't get lost in the astral layers of unicorns and all of that sort of thing, because they exist in the astral layers. And as a spiritual person, you have to get beyond the astral layers. Many people get stuck there, and it's very, very real when you're there. Nothing wrong with it. But the spiritual path goes beyond that. It's that unlimited realm of possibility and potential, and that's what's being offered to you, and that's what you're being asked to look at there. And with the overall card for you, row 3, there's a real sense with the Chariot card, a real sense of moving forward, advancement, progression. You might be going on a long journey somewhere as well. So if you're someone that's picked row 3, are you going on a long journey? Have you got a journey planned in August? Because you're about to be rewarded as well. So if things have been a struggle back here, and you've struggled with maybe some jealousy, betrayal, or the fear of being betrayed even, everything is changing now, and you're about to have a more developed awareness, and all the work that you put in is about to pay off. So some people even experience an overnight success with this card. And you might find yourself, if you're in the theatre, in any way. You might find yourself having huge success acting or in the theatre or something along those lines, as well. If you're a writer, you might find suddenly you have a breakthrough and you have a huge success with it. It does come with that motto: if at first you don't succeed, try and try again. Well, actually, forget the trying, just commit to it, because it doesn't matter whether you fail. It doesn't matter. You just try another way. It doesn't matter. Just keep going, and that's what it's saying. Keep going. Just be careful if back here, because this has come up with this row, be careful of any envy, any greed, any jealousy of any kind. Let that go. It's not going to serve you to have anything like that as well. Also, be careful of any escapism as well here, but otherwise stay rooted, stay grounded. There's a new awareness coming in, and there's a real sense with the Chariot of this huge energy cutting through and bringing you more power, more energy, more tenacity to take you to where you want to go. And it may be also, of course, you're going on a journey, and a significant journey this month. I love this card, the Chariot. So looking at these cards here in August, we've got the clover, the fantastic 4-leaf clover, which is all about luck. It turns any cards that are next to it into luck. It enhances them even more. It's such a beautiful card, the clover. And the clover brings luck, it brings happiness, it makes things better. It turns difficulties into opportunities, like this here, as long as you let go of this over here. So it's fertile, it's purity, it's just beautiful. It's it's just symbolized with luck. And here we have the dog, which is the loyal dog, the loyal servant. It's about trust and loyalty, the dog. It's about friendship. It's about reliance, support. It's self-contained, a faithful friend. So it's about having the faith as well. It's not just representing somebody. It's saying have faith. Have faith. It's all going to happen there. It's all about trust. And then we have this beautiful heart, the two swans together. So this really is row 3. This really is beautiful, beautiful cards in the Lenormand pack of happiness and love and feelings and emotions. And to have these 3 cards together is just wonderful, because it's all about someone loving coming in that's going to bring you the trust that you've been wanting. It's beautifully aspected. There's a new relationship or an existing relationship going into a deeper level of love. It's very, very beneficial. So, maybe there's even a potential marriage in there somewhere, but there's certainly commitment with a particular relationship or an endeavor that you're doing. It's beautifully aspected. And like the Chariot again, and this up here is let go of whatever's gone on before and allow the wheel of that fortune and the wheel of evolution to come in and heighten your awareness and bring in that potential that you have to fulfill. And beautiful, we've got the Rider in the same way as the Chariot. I mean, you can't make these things up. Just brilliant. So you've got the Rider coming in. The Rider is a wonderful card because it brings news. It brings things in quicker, like the Chariot. It's bringing change. It's fast change as well, like the Chariot. It's like, get out of the way, I'm coming in kind of change. There's a dreaminess with it. It's riding on a rainbow. But she's a messenger. She's holding, she has this beautiful bag. She's holding a message for you. And it's about a new cycle, again, along with the Wheel of Fortune, a new cycle coming in. It's something magical about August and changes in August for you. So it's also about freeing you from because she's on a merry-go-round horse, it's freeing you from the merry-go-round of life. So fantastic, wonderful. Let's have a look and see what Rumi says. And Rumi, we have the Lion and the Deer. The Lion and the Deer, card 22. And it's from Alana Fairchild's Rumi Oracle. And these are so accurate, these cards. The Lion and the Deer. Let's just have a look and see. I've got the book out for this one. So let's just cut to the chase. The guidance this oracle brings you is that you shall prosper most now if you are willing to unbecome what you have believed yourself to be. We're back to the Five of Swords. It was never really true anyway, that view. It was partial at best, and just a view and identity, not a genuine reality. Some of your previous sense of self shall likely come with this transition into the fuller experience of your being, and some of that previous identity shall be shed as far too. So any crisis or confusion this brings shall be temporary, fuel to ignite the divine fires within. So it all begins with shedding the either and the or, and recognizing instead the all. The all. You are all that is, remember. So you're being asked, basically, it basically says that you are rediscovering a part of yourself that has been lost or submerged underneath more practical concerns. So is that developing that new awareness? There's something coming up in you in August that's developing that new awareness for you, row 3. So I'm just going to then do an overall in general for the month, and that'll be your reading for August. So your crystal cards, row 1, 2 and 3 for the month of August 2022. Row 1, Emerald, spiritual healing. So if Emerald has come to you today, it is time to bring your spirit close and listen. You are in need of love. The time for healing has come. Go inward and leave no stone unturned. At this time in your life, truth is your best friend. Channel all your experiences through the heart. If it is not unconditional, it should be discarded. Emerald also reminds us that what we are facing in life is a lesson, just a stepping stone into understanding and back to your infinite self. When you are right within, your outer world will follow. Money is not abundance, love is. Be the love and the money will come where it is needed. New guidance may be waiting for your recognition. The spirit of the dolphin is with you. Go to the ocean and listen through your heart. Let each breaking wave pass through and heal you. And row 2 is black onyx. Something in the physical world is creating stress and strain. You may have become involved in something that is not your responsibility. So black onyx is grounded self-awareness. You need to have a good look at yourself, your needs, and your physical surrounds. This is a time for strong decisions and action concerning your physical well-being and happiness. Decisions of the nature you must make are often made best in solitude, outside of the influence of others. Black onyx also represents where there is a need for grieving. I think that ties in with the reading, actually. And row 3 is the diaptase. Is that how you pronounce it? Diaptase, which is the healing heart. On this day, the heart will be healed. Wherever diaptase goes, broken hearts are healed and carried into understanding. The presence of this crystal for you indicates some of the many lessons of love are ready to be embraced. Compassion, patience, non-judgment, listening, truthfulness, non-attachment, equality and respect are all good starting points. Diaptase has come to hold the heart open. She indicates a new relationship or path of love. But remember, for new things to occur, one must be prepared to look forward, take action, and free attachments and expectations. Diaptase can also present when you have allowed others to cloud your judgment. So sit quietly alone and make your decisions. This crystal's presence tells you you have the answers. The above-mentioned masters may be utilizing the frequency of diaptase to communicate with you. So place this card to your heart and listen. And that was taken from their liquid crystal oracle for those. So thank you, everybody. I look forward to seeing you during the other clearings. I'm doing the SRT clearings on my channel, and the Reiki healings on my channel, and the other bits and pieces, advice and guidance on my channel, and also in September's tarot. Have a really great August, and lots of love to you all. Bye.